top of the morning, and it is a beaut.
And the hope of the Irish as the future champion of the world.
A podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio.
Welcome to the Barry J. McDonald podcast. The place where dreams get dusted off and acted on. Because life is too short, we're living on a rock that's flying through space, and hey, what the hell else were you going to do with yourself here?
Hi, this is Barry here, and you are very welcome to today's podcast episode. Now, from where you are to where you would like to be, the difference could be due to your courage levels. Now, I know a lot of us, are willing to do the work. We are willing to show up. We're willing to do whatever it takes to write a book, create a successful podcast, create an online business, or whatever it is you're looking to do online. A lot of us are happy to do those things. We're happy to set the time aside. But sometimes the difference in us actually getting to those places are due to our level of courage. Some of us have our courage kind of dialed way down. I know when I think back to when I stacked shelves in that job that I detested, working at night, I know my courage levels were very small at the time. They were very low. And from thinking back then to where I am right now, I was willing to do the work back then, but I think the difference between me then and me now is I'm more courageous. Now, I'm not saying I'm someone who would run into a blazing fire. I wouldn't go that far, but my courage levels are a lot higher than they were back then. And as I've said many times in this podcast, the difference between where you are and where you would like to be is probably due to how much you're willing to embarrass yourself, how much you're willing to open yourself up to criticism. If we look at someone who is watching a football game, it's easy for spectators to shout at players to say that they're crap or that they're awful or they don't know how to play or they should be taken off or this, that and the other. But that person is on that pitch because they're willing to embarrass themselves. They're willing to go for a goal and miss it. They're willing to try their very best and maybe just not be good enough on the day. But they know that, there will be moments that they will have success. They will score that last minute goal. They will win. They will do something that the crowd is pleased with. So they're willing to leave themselves open to those moments of criticism, of embarrassment. And because they're willing to do that, that's why they're on the pitch. And that's why they're not in the stadium. The people in the stadium have it safe. They can't get anything wrong. Whatever they say, they're always the expert. But put them on the pitch, and you might find that they're not really as good as they say they are. And that's what I'd say to you as well, too. Where you are right now, maybe it's because you're trying to play it safe. Maybe you're trying to avoid criticism. Maybe you're trying to avoid embarrassment. Again, when I think back to my life as that shelf stacker, before I got into writing kids' fiction books, the thought that I could actually write a fiction book, put it on the Amazon Kindle store, left me wide open to criticism. What if people hated the book? What if people started leaving me negative reviews? What if I started getting 1-star reviews? What if people said that I was the worst author that there ever was on the Kindle store? Now, at the time, those thoughts terrified me because, what if it all blew up in my face? What if I embarrassed myself? But I found that, whatever you're looking to do, especially if it's something, a larger life than where you are right now, it's going to involve getting out of your comfort zone. It's going to involve turning up that courage dial. It's going to involve, stepping out, being willing to embarrass yourself, be willing for everything to go wrong. I didn't know at the time if that fiction book would be successful. Thankfully it was. Thankfully it was the catalyst that started everything for me. But at the time I didn't know if it was going to go right or wrong. It could have flopped. But I was willing to leave myself open to that. I was willing to just turn the courage dial up a little bit. Now, that doesn't mean that you need to be, really, really courageous. Not the type of person that runs into a blazing building. I wouldn't say that I'm that courageous yet. I couldn't imagine myself, even at the moment, throwing myself out of an airplane in a parachute jump or anything like that. But I know that, as I've kind of progressed, I've just turned up the courage dial just a little bit more. Even where you are right now, imagine you just got a little bit further out of your comfort zone. Imagine right now, you could be terrified maybe of doing a video. But what if you said to yourself, you know something, let me see if I can do a podcast. Let me see if I can just hold a smartphone to my face, turn the app on here, record an episode, and just publish it, and see what happens next. It mightn't be as big a step as recording a video, but from where you are right now, that little step to recording a podcast episode could be, what you need right now. It could be just what you need to get out of your comfort zone. And sometimes you kind of, a lot of us believe that we need to take huge leaps, but you don't really need to. Even small steps in the right direction are in the right direction. So what I would say to you right now is, maybe you're willing to do the work. Maybe you're willing to show up. Maybe you're willing to set the time aside to work on your business. But maybe it could be your courage level that could be holding you back right now because it's dialed down. And, if you want to step into a bigger life, you'll need to be a larger version of you. If we handed you that ideal lifestyle that you would love to have right now, as the person you are, how long do you think you could hold on to it? How long do you think you could hold on to that success or that money or that audience? Now, the majority of us, if we're really truthful, will say that I wouldn't be right for the job. If it was a real job, I would probably be sacked on the first day. And you'll find that if that ideal lifestyle was given to you, you would let all that success run through your fingertips because you're not the right type of person for it yet. And to get to being that right type of person will mean turning up your courage dial. It will mean just pushing out on your comfort zone, just taking a little step further every day, doing something that is a little bit more uncomfortable. So give that some thought today that, where you are right now, it could be just due to your courage. You might need to just be a little bit more courageous. Just be willing to leave yourself open to a little bit more embarrassment, a little more of a chance of maybe this thing could go wrong, maybe it could flop, maybe it could come back in you, maybe you could receive some criticism. But you'll find that the people who are really, really successful in life, they are the people who are standing out on stage, who are standing out in the middle of a pitch, who are, leaving themselves wide open to everything going wrong. But with everything going wrong, everything can go right. And when it goes right for those people, that's when we cheer them on. That's when we celebrate them. That's when we say that they are the superstars. So give that some thought today and maybe just turn that courage dial up a little bit and see what happens in your life. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye. Would you like to know how I went from being a lowly shelf stacker, depressed, no confidence in himself, and how I went from that to becoming a popular children's author, and then on to even greater things, recording and selling my own digital products? If you'd like to find out how I did it, and if you would like to do the same yourself, if you head over to Writecom, that's WRITECOME.com, you'll find a great free report over there, which is called the Online Business Manifesto. And in that report, I'm going to show you the journey I went on from the beginning to where I am right now. And I'm going to show you the 3 business secrets I learned along the way. Now, these secrets aren't secrets that most people talk about. Some people don't even realize that they exist. So if you head over to Writecom, download the free report, you are going to be miles ahead of everyone else who has an online business. Have a lovely day, and I hope you enjoy this episode.